Welcome back. We've been gone for a few weeks. It's summer, so we out in these streets. But now we're here. Whether it's a hot mom summer, hot girl summer, I just want to be in my house summer. But
hot mom summer. When did this come out?
I had a neighbor who coined it a few years ago, so I've been using it. But for those of you anxiously waiting, welcome back to our to the newest episode of Is This How It Ends? For those joining us for the first time, you're in for a treat. So this show is where we cover stories that makes us question, where the hell is this world headed, right? Wars, aliens, robots, sexy red, conspiracies. And we pepper in some regular mundane-ish, so now that you're here, I'm going to kick it over to Nels as we dive into just some regular-ish.
All right. Hey, y'all. For normal-ish. So on June 15th, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill that proposes to amend the Military Selective Service Act to include automatic registration for the Selective Service system for men when they turn 18. And this is for men 18 through 20.
Just men, right? Men.
Just men. I'm gonna get there. This bill, because where are you going? This bill aims to streamline the registration process by automatically registering men through information already provided to us to various government agencies. This bill does not currently include provisions for the registration of women, maintaining the status quo where only men are required to register with the Selective Service system. It's a good day to be old and a woman.
Yes, girl.
Shout out, millennials. Yeah, y'all. So get ready to be drafted. What do you think, Soph?
I mean, we're already in a war by proxy, right? With Russia and Ukraine, looking over across the pond, right? UK is considering a national service law where it's not the same as a draft or conscription, but according to the announcement made by the Prime Minister, 18-year-olds will be given a choice between full-time placement of the armed services or volunteering in their community. I think this is like baby steps where you eventually be like, yeah, community service is actually national armed forces. So your choice is military or military, just which you want to choose. So if you've been looking at the news, you have Taiwan and China, right? Taiwan is like, we're our own territory. China's like, yeah, no, you're not. You're part of us. And the U.S., they maintain a policy of, they call it strategic ambiguity. They support Taiwan through armed cells and they politically back them without officially recognizing them as a separate country. And then just recently you have military exercises and maneuvers by China near Taiwan. The U.S. has once again reiterated its support for Taiwan's self-defense capabilities. And it's conducting its own military exercises in the region. So,
look, get ready, y'all. Get ready.
And
it's happening.
It's happening, and and there's so much more. There's Russia and North Korea. I don't think any two nations other than China hate the U.S. more than them. And now they have an alliance, right? Like Vladimir Putin and North Korea leader Kim Jong-un signed a significant new partnership agreement, and it's described by both leaders as the strongest treaty between their two nations. So pledges of mutual defense, and then you have I don't know if you saw recently. So Russia launched a satellite named Cosmos 2576, which U.S. officials believe to be a counter space weapon. So it's placed in the same orbit as a U.S. reconnaissance satellite. So Russia's pretty much like saying, "You move the U.S. like
get prepared." And as of late, the enrollment in the armed services in the U.S. has been down. And so even bring it back to birth rates, what's happening in terms of hey, we need to build this army, and y'all are not having the kids to build the army,
right?
Because they know what's coming down the pipeline. And so, yeah, they pulled the trigger on this, y'all. So,
I think we're making moves. Like, we're making our alliances. I believe we're at war, right? It's just we're not really saying it outright, but because you don't want people to panic, right? But I'd like to see what things look like in a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, y'all, that's it for normal, not so normal-ish.
All that is a little scary. I might make it worse. I don't know. So this is the segment that I think every time we have this this show, I rebrand it or just add more stuff to it, right? It's alien takeover, robot revolution, or yes, we can tech-wise, but should we? And just generally anything that makes me personally feel like we are living in a 1980s sci-fi movie, which we are. So two really cool stories that I want to share, right? The sky is getting really interesting. Side note, I was in Disney last week. I was about to say a couple weeks ago. Last week, we saw a Disney Mickey-shaped cloud in the sky. I kid you not. My son saw it and pointed out to us. And I was like, oh my God, that's pretty cool. And then my husband looked it up. And apparently it is a thing. I don't know if you guys can see it. If you could
Mickey-shaped cloud? Oh, yeah, I see it.
But apparently it's a thing where people are seeing Mickey-shaped clouds. And I don't know. And Disney has this thing where it's like spout the mouse. So I don't know. So I think
this is weird. I have on a Mickey Mouse shirt. So
oh my God.
Weird
I do not believe in coincidences. You know that. Okay.
That. Mickey Mouse shirt right here.
Oh my goodness.
That's very weird.
That is very weird.
Talking about. I know you're going to talk about this.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. So the sky is getting interesting. A few weeks ago, I know we were talking about it where so states not normally in the path of the Northern Lights got a chance to see it. I got to see it. It was really faint, but the sky was red. It was pretty cool. And like others who were a bit north of me were able to see it really well as well. And in a few months between now and September, a new star-like object will appear in the night sky. This happens when a star suddenly gets much brighter, usually because of an explosion on its surface, which is called a nova. You'll be able to see it without a telescope. So just if you're into that kind of stuff, you could follow the news and see when it's going to happen exactly. And it's not actually a new star. It's an existing star that becomes much brighter for a while, making it look like a new star has appeared, and it'll disappear. And this has happened. I think it happens like every 80 years. So I think it's really cool. I'm going to follow it and see when it happens so that I can see it. So yeah. Now the next sky-related story, or I guess space, you should say, is Asteroid, which is officially known as 99942 Apophis. It's named after the ancient Egyptian god of chaos and destruction.
Oh,
not scary at all. So it was discovered June 19th, 2004 by astronomers at the Kitt Peak National Observatory in Arizona. It's huge. It's the size of 3.5 football fields. It's classified as a near-Earth object because its orbit brings it really close to Earth. When it was first discovered, there was a concern that it might impact Earth, but that's been, after further observations, they ruled that out. So there's no significant risk to this asteroid impacting Earth. But while it poses no risk, they're going to continue to monitor it and see, for potential collision risk in subsequent years, like as 2036 and beyond. So we're safe, maybe, I don't know. But why would they name this the god of chaos and destruction?
Right? It's like, oh, don't put that out there.
Hey, this is how conspiracies start, right? And just change the date. So it's going to fly by on Friday, April 13th. And then I thought about the movie, Don't Look Up, right? You know how Hollywood, sometimes their movies are a little bit too much on the nose. So
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like we're being trolled, right? I think we're being trolled.
This is the ultimate troll for sure.
Yeah, too many coincidences, right? And if this was, so they're saying it's not going to hit us, which I'll believe just for my own, peace of mind.
You have to wake up every day.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But if it was going to, would you think they would admit that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine if they told people in 5 more years, this asteroid is going to hit it's not an extinction event if it did, but millions would die. So it would either be utter chaos or people are just gonna go about their business, right? Bills got to be paid. Like,
no. Look at COVID. Not gonna tell us nothing.
I know, right? We're gonna like use up all the toilet paper. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, the guys just come and get all the toilet paper.
All the toilet paper. You never know. It's gonna feed us and just do everything. But so yeah, so I'm sorry, y'all. I do have a conspiratorial mind, and I see shadows where I shouldn't. But when there are just too many coincidences, I just question things. But that's it. But even more reason why we need that Mars lottery. Like we need to make our way off Earth.
Nice segue. So yes, Mars is ghetto. Yes, it is.
Mars is not ghetto. Earth is ghetto. You mean?
Earth is ghetto. Earth is ghetto. Yes, it is. Right.
Girl.
And so because it is, we got to make contingency plans. And so we're going to Mars, but not everyone can come with us.
Nope.
And so every episode, we have 3 people that we suggest, 3 people each that we suggest to go to Mars. And we conduct it like the New York housing lottery because it's real out here. All right.
So today I actually came prepared. I have my 3 people.
All right.
So let's start. The first person is Jennifer Doudna. I can't say her last name, so I do apologize, Jennifer. She is a biochemist, a pioneering biochemist known for her work in CRISPR gene editing technology. So this revolutionary tech allows for precise, directed changes to the DNA. It's opened up possibilities for new treatments for genetic disorders, cancer, and other diseases. And she was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, shared with Emmanuel Charpentier for the development of CRISPR-9, which super cool, right? There's a lot of conspiracy around CRISPR, some ethical stuff around gene editing. But if we are living in a foreign planet, we may need some additional help. We may need some gene editing, and I'm not opposed to that for survival. So I think we might need her. The next person you might. So Bear Grylls. So his real name is Michael Grylls. And his sister gave him the nickname Bear when he was a week old. So some good old foreshadowing in our 1980s simulation. Anywho, if you've ever watched Man vs. Wild, then you know who he is. And he also has like an interactive You versus Wild show that sometimes it's a little ridiculous. Like he does, I'm just like, what? It's interesting.
Something. Why are you always versing yourself? Just, how about me versus me? Just
right? Yeah.
Yourself.
It's yeah. Anywho, it's so he's undertaken numerous endurance feats, including climbing out Mount Everest, paramotoring over the Himalayas, and crossing the North Atlantic in an open, rigid, inflatable boat. That just sounds foolish to me. But I mean, we need people who just have that survival skills, who could just like, I don't know, they just have that instinct and could just survive in the wild, because we don't know what this land is going to be like or what this new world is going to be like. Maybe he could fight off whatever animals are on there, if there are. And the next person is Rosemary Gladstar. She is a herbalist and has had a profound impact on the field of herbal medicine, helping to revive and sustain traditional herbal knowledge while also promoting the conservation of medicinal plants. So modern medicine is great, but I think we also need people who could, use whatever's given, like use the earth and what's provided to create treatments, because we may not have access to our tools. So those are my 3 people.
You came out guns blazing, so this is gonna be hard. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, we on the board. We're gonna have to have some decisions. All right. Sorry, y'all. My light went out. I don't know what happened to it. So we just gonna keep on rolling here, right? All right. So the first person I have is Dr. Kevin Washington. He's a prominent figure in the field of psychology and counseling, particularly known for his advocacy and leadership within the African American community. He has dedicated his career to addressing mental health disparities, promoting psychological well-being, and advocating for culturally competent therapy practices. Look, we don't know what Mars is going to be like. We're scared. We're trying to figure things out. We do need therapy.
Yeah, I think we might. I mean, we need therapy now.
We need it now.
Over, so
yeah. we're definitely going to need it on Mars. So that's my first person. My second person is Dr. Marcia McNutt, a geophysicist and former president of the National Academy of Sciences in the United States. She has made significant contributions to marine geophysics and understanding the structure and dynamics of the Earth's crust. We need a geologist because we got to figure out the terrain, what's going on, our environment. She's needed. Shout out to Marcia McNutt. All right. I like her last name. I'm such a child. I'm so All right. And the last person is Dr. Siddhartha Mukherjee. I'm sure I chopped that up. He's an oncologist and researcher and Pulitzer Prize winning author, known for his work in cancer biology and treatment. He has authorized several influential books on cancer and genetics. We don't want no cancer on Mars.
I mean, we don't, but cancer. We know like our current environment is what's causing the rise in cancer. Who's to say that?
Yes. All right. So now we got to make the decisions because we can only take 3 each round. So
you have some good people. Bear Grylls we could leave behind. I know he's a survivalist, but he's also a little ridiculous. So
yes. Now you did have your first person was really good.
The biochemist. Yeah, like I think we're gonna need some. We might need some augmentations, right? Like better eyesight. I don't know, but I
did cancer research too, right? Did she do cancer research too?
She does not do cancer research.
Okay.
Well, she does, yes. So she doesn't, but I think so. Her research has opened up possibilities for new treatments.
Okay.
For genetic disorders and cancer and other diseases. So I think she could take the place of your cancer person.
Okay. So we're going to go with, what's her name again?
Jennifer Doudna.
Okay, Jennifer Doudna.
Are we writing this somewhere? Are we like creating a list so that we're not duped?
I thought about that. We're going to have to make sure to keep a list. So we're not.
We'll do that.
Doubling people. We'll do it.
So we're going to take her. We're leaving out Bear Grylls.
Okay, we leave out him. We have to bring the therapist.
We have to bring the therapist. So we have Jennifer. We have the therapist.
Kevin Washington. And the geophysicist.
So we don't want the herbalist, because we don't know what's growing out. So
we don't know yet. And we already have some farmers. I think we have some farming people already.
Some farming people. Okay, Rosemary.
I think put on the wait list.
All right, she's on the wait list.
She's on the wait list.
Okay. One thing I did want us to introduce is a band for life.
Yes.
Clarence Thomas. I think he should be on the banned for life list. And any politician, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, I don't care. Black, white, you're all banned forever.
Him and Diddy.
Well, yeah, Diddy.
Banned for life. He's not coming to Mars.
J-Lo is also banned.
She is banned, but I have a soft spot for her. Can she have visitors' rights, maybe? I have a love-hate relationship with J-Lo. It's mostly hate, but maybe it's that I love to hate her. I don't know, but can J-Lo visit Mars?
Yeah.
All right. She can get a visitor's pass.
Yeah. But I think we should make sure there are some people who just, you know what, we have no reason. Like J-Lo, I think the reason we hate her is so superficial. She
definitely. She can visit, but so next time when we have our next round, there'll definitely be a banned for life part.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
All right, y'all.
We have
our people, and that's the Mars Housing Lottery. All right. So Now on to the main topic.
Mm.
Now, I hate to be a little bit disappointing, but I'm also inspired.
Okay.
Hear me out. All right. So, to recap, right? I had a theory about Taylor Swift's music being tuned to 432 hertz, right? The healing frequency. But I said this because she's going to lower everyone's defenses under the guise of healing so that she can implement world domination.
I love
Well,
it.
y'all, I reached a dead end with this theory. All right. Now, like we talked about last time, right? Generally, mainstream music, including Taylor Swift, is typically recorded and released at the standard tuning of 440 hertz, unless specified otherwise by the artist or the producer. So, if you want to listen to music tuned to that, you can go to YouTube, or there's certain software technology that you can do that. But the original tuning of her music is the usual 444 hertz, right? And so I said, okay, let me try this out. So I listened to some of her songs on YouTube tuned to 432 hertz and then compared them to the 440 hertz. And it all sounded the same to me. It sounded plain, melanin deficient, and unseasoned. But the ancestors wouldn't let me give up, right? I know something is going on here, and maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong angle. I just don't get it, right? Taylor releases a new album, and suddenly you find yourself singing shake it off in the shower.
Not working.
I said, while you're working, while you're sleeping, It's like her lyrics invade your brain cells, replacing your inner monologue with her catchy choruses. Now, her music videos, they're not just entertainment. They're a covert training session. Now, you ever notice how perfectly synchronized her fans are at the concerts? Remember that, because this is where I'm going to go. They're not just vibing out. She is sending her telepathic message to the masses while they're there and they're moving in time together.
Right? I am here for it.
Yes, she's a puppet master, right? She must be stopped. Now, I can't lie. She does have a knack for creating catchy melodies and hooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my theory, I thought that was the true mechanism to hijack our brain wiring and turn us into Swiftie bots. But that's not it, right? I continue.
I'm sorry, you say Swiftie bots?
Swiftie bots.
Okay.
Hashtag Swiftie bots.
Okay.
Yes. And in my continued research, there were talks of Taylor being a witch, right? I can buy that, but I think most celebrities are witches and they dabble in sorcery and all that other stuff. So I believe that, right? And before, when I was looking, I was thinking, okay, it's in the song structure, it's in the melody, it's in the music, but it's not in the music, right? It's something else, right? So again, in my research, I saw something about Taylor Swift post-concert amnesia.
I'm sorry, what?
Taylor Swift post-concert amnesia. And I was like, okay, I'm curious. So did you realize that she's the highest tour, like she's the highest selling tour?
Mm-hmm.
What's the number I have here? I think it's like $1.4 billion.
And she sells records, like physical records.
Yes, higher than Elton John, higher than, I think, the Eagles had a tour. Just
how?
Yeah. Now, this is where I started to look. Now I'm interested in the concert, y'all. And so in looking into this concert experiences, this is where the message or the mind control is happening to weaken our minds so that Whoever can come in can do what they're going to do. So I found a podcast called Taylor Swift's Mind Control Concerts. And so now, y'all, I'm on another wave. So I stopped there. So I don't have a real theory yet because what I originally theorized got debunked, right? She's tuned to like everyone else, right? 444 hertz. There's no special tuning that's happening. And even if like the way her melodies are constructed or whatever, it's pretty plain and basic. Again, hence what's going on here, right? But it's the concert experience that draws people in, that weakens people's defenses. They get this post-concert amnesia, and then who knows what their brain.
What do you mean they get post-concert amnesia? So they forget that they attended her concert?
I think it's not that they forget they attend her concert. It's just like kind of everything after the concert doesn't matter as much. They're just so high and into like what's going on, the whole experience, that kind of like what happens after, just like life is just null and dull and boring. I don't know. I've seen her in a leotard on the stage, but there's no dancing, there's no choreography, there's no boom cat, there's nothing. Why are you in a leotard?
Can we go to that? Like Beyonce started doing that, right? Just being in a leotard. And that was like her that was her uniform.
Yes.
And now you see other artists in leotards. And I like, I'm amazed at music that goes viral or artists that go viral, right? You just need a beat and forget the words or whatever it is. To me, they all sound the same. They're all saying the same thing. They all have like the same exact style, you know, like, and when you think about it, these are the people that they are the ones who make it viral. They are the ones that are on the billboards, you know. And there's always this talk that you could have like an amazing voice, but there's like this it factor that calls you to that. What is that it factor? You know what I mean? Like, is it manufactured? Like, I just like when you think about a Taylor Swift, you think about Britney Spears. I mean, I was a Britney fan. I liked her music, but it was just like, what is it? What was it that kind of takes these, sometimes musicians who their sound is really like, their voice is mediocre, but somehow they become like, I don't know, they become these stars, you know, like someone like Badu or India Ari, like they don't have that, they're amazing, but they just don't have that same star power.
So it's a machine, and certain people, they put their backing, you know, the companies will put their backing up. Like, take for instance, do you remember Tierra Marie? Like Tierra Marie and Rihanna? You know Rihanna.
I do know Rihanna.
Yeah, I'm sure you know Tierra Marie.
I heard that name.
Yeah. So they both came out around the same time, right? And but for some reason, the backing was behind Rihanna, but Tierra was clearly the better singer, and Tierra was pretty as well. Tierra was a little bit, which you know how that goes, right? And so I'm just very curious as to why back Rihanna, who I love, my girl Riri, you know, but you know she serves goat vocals sometimes. She's gotten better. She's taken some lessons, but you know, but she got pushed. Tierra didn't, and the trajectory of Tierra's life, child, she's been loving hip hop. She's just, you know, and look at Rihanna. Look how wildly successful she is. Look at isn't she like a billionaire or whatever?
Yeah.
But I think my curiosity is, why are certain people put in place? What is it setting us up for? Because if you want to give a message, it's through pop culture, it's through the masses. And so when you have basic ass people that are famous, it's like, who's behind you? What are the powers that are behind you so that they can use your basic ass as a vehicle to send their messages out? You know, so.
But it's visually, right? Like, who can appeal to?
It's not always visual. There's some very unattractive people that are famous.
When it comes to musicians, especially with women.
Okay, not with women.
Yeah, women, you could have a basic looking dude, right? But when it comes to women, there is a look. And to your point about Tiara Marie versus Rihanna, do you remember Tweet? Tweet came out around the same time as Ashanti. We were listening to Hot 97. I don't know who the host was at the time, but he clearly said Ashanti's going to get more play because she's lighter toned. That is what happened, right? Like Ashanti kind of, her career shot up where Tweet, it did not. And I love
so talented. Tweet is talented. She's
right.
Beautiful.
Like it's not about talent. It's just it factor, and it's manufactured, and it has a lot to do. I mean, I love good music. Like I don't need to watch you half naked on your video to enjoy but it seems like they're just pushing this.
Girl.
And I don't know if I remember being at the gym. I think I told this story before where video after video of women singers, it was the same choreography, the same like sexual come hither, whatever thing they were doing. And then you'll have the dude in like a beat up t-shirt, like not giving a shit. Right? Like,
girl, Flavor Flav is famous. Yes. Look at that face.
I don't know. When it comes to women, the standards are like up here,
Girl, I feel so old, okay? I happen to be up and this is so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm saying this out.
Safe space.
Oh Lord. So I was up and on YouTube when they have like the premiere and the countdowns, like when a video is gonna premiere. And so Ice Spice had a video premiere and it was a countdown and I waited for the countdown.
Not a safe space. You should be. I take that back. But please continue because I want to hear the rest.
I waited for the countdown. I don't even know what the name of the song was. It was her recent song, y'all. Whoever knows. And I was thoroughly and utterly, deeply disappointed. So I can never get back.
How long did you wait?
A minute.
Oh my God.
I waited a minute.
No, I don't know how to feel about you because
I could have read words.
Didn't you like her art song? Like
yes.
Come on, girl.
Yes. And
this is what I mean. Like there's songs that we like. Like, why do we like them? It's like why?
And so I definitely think Ice Spice is a plant. And but who is backing Ice Spice and for what? Like literally, so this girl has walked across the stage. No one knows what she's saying. Like she just exerts no energy. And then she does a little twerk, a little ass shake, and then they clap. I'm like, this is how easily we're entertained.
Yeah.
Just shake your ass. And then it's like, okay.
She's a plant. Sexy Red is a plant. Like
I know Sexy Red's agenda is very loud and clear. Okay. Sexy Red. This is my opinion. Let me just step on my soapbox. Okay. Black women in particular have been making strides. Okay. Black women, the mostly educated, right? Black women who are the leading of like homeowners in terms of like single women, right? Black women entrepreneurs, all these things that are happening. The birth rates are dropping. Shout outs to birth control. All of these things are happening, right? In terms of cleaning up of the Black female image. And here comes Sexy Red, right? And, we've aged out, right? We're grand millennials. We've aged out. But the rest of these generations, they're going to only know seeing us going to school and doing things, right? So we have to make sure that we throw them off course, right? So let's bring in Sexy Red, right? Let's bring in the Ice Spices. Let's bring in all these people to show true and utter ignorance. And now what do you see? You see these little girls in school singing Sexy Red. She's a plant that is to create another narrative of the Black female identity, as opposed to, like, we already have to still navigate this world. Despite the changes that we have to go through, we still have to navigate this world. We have to have laws passed to allow us to wear our hair in our natural state on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Crown Act. So I'm setting off my soapbox, but I say this to say that, you know, I want to continue with the Taylor Swift situation. There's going to be more parts, y'all, not back to back. Mm-hmm. Because now I think it's in the concert experience where this mind control happens.
Yeah.
And I want to delve further, but that means that I'm going to have to watch.
You just might.
Bland Toast. Like, just put Bland Toast in a leotard on the stage. Girl, I'm going to have to this. I already had to listen for this podcast to more Taylor Swift than I wanted to. The sacrifices I make.
We appreciate you taking one for this.
And so now I want to look at this concert footage to see what it's about and to see what people are experiencing and to see if it can be a vehicle for mind control.
But to that point,
mm-hmm.
if you're going to watch it, is it going to be different than being live? Right? Because I think a live experience might be.
You gave me an idea, Soph. Now, I don't know any people in my immediate circle who have been to a Taylor Swift concert. However, I might have access to someone that has been to a Taylor Swift concert.
I work with a few people. They're like adults who love Taylor Swift. No judgment. But.
Yeah, I know a couple of Swifties of color. They're out there.
Sounds like an oxymoron.
They
can like what we like.
But I'm curious as to know what the experience. Maybe I can ask them. Thank you, Soph. I'm going to see if I can ask them like what it was like. I'm also going to watch. And when I come up with something, I'll come back to y'all.
Yeah. But her fan base, though, there are people who are not afraid to spend money. So that also helps, right? Yeah. You have like young kids and middle-aged adults.
Yes, definitely. She has a good middle-aged Swiftie crowd.
She does.
Yeah.
But, no judgment to Swiftie fans, but I just question music in general and what's pushed at us and the things that we like.
Yeah,
that's it. I do love a good conspiracy. I love conspiracies, and this was a good one.
I'm mad mine was debunked though, but
it's fine. It's fine. That shows we're open. If it's debunked, we're open to it. We don't stick to it no matter what. There are people like they have this theory, and no matter what you throw at them, they're like, no.
Yeah, we're open-minded over here.
We are.
Yeah.
But speaking of conspiracy theories, let's delve into some more. This is I want you to spot. I want you to spot which is the actual conspiracy theory.
Okay.
What I'm going to name.
I like that.
Yeah. So the CIA's use of cats in espionage. So they're using kitties.
Look at Enzi in the background. Boy, you hear that?
To spy on people. That's number one. The ninth planet. So researcher says that there's an existence of a ninth planet called Nibiru. It has an elongated orbit around the sun, taking approximately 3,600 years to complete one revolution. And this orbit supposedly brings it close to the inner solar system, causing gravitational disturbances and other significant events on Earth. So that's the second. The third conspiracy or whatever is chemtrails left behind by aircraft in the sky. So that white stuff you see behind the sky or behind the aircraft, it's not just water vapor and exhaust, but are actual chemical or biological agents that cause illnesses, sterilization, and a whole host of problems. So we had the spine kitties, the ninth planet, and chemtrails. So which one is the conspiracy?
The first one. I can't believe that my boy, my first son, would ever be a spy.
Okay. Well, Operation Acoustic Kitty is true.
Get out!
And
Get out!
The CIA initiated a project known as Acoustic Kitty. The idea was to implant listening devices into a cat so it could be used to spy on the Soviet Union, the Cold War. Ooh, that was a wild time.
Boy, do you hear that, boy?
Yeah,
wow.
Involved surgically embedding a microphone and a radio transmitter into a cat with the hope that it could unobtrusively eavesdrop on conversations. It was deemed a failure. Reports suggest that the first cat used in the project was run over by a taxi during a test mission. I'm sorry. All right.
Close your ears. Close your ears.
It was canceled because it became clear that cats could not be reliably trained to carry out the missions. I mean, we know cats. They don't care about you. I mean, they do their own. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe that was true.
Mm-hmm. So that is true. So the ninth planet. So this one it's true and false. So the author that I mentioned, he's author and researcher, Zachariah Sitchin, states that this ninth planet Nibiru was inhabited by an advanced race of extraterrestrial beings called the Anunnaki. He claimed that they visited Earth in ancient times, contributing to human development by sharing their knowledge and technology. According to this researcher and author, the Anunnaki were responsible for the creation of human civilization, including the construction of ancient monuments and advancement in agriculture and science. If you ever get into like aliens and anything, this is like a huge theory, and I love reading about it just because it's science fiction. It's awesome, and if it's true, it's like, oh my god. So his theory was in 1976, right? Fast forward to 2016. So in 2016, astronomers Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown from the California Institute of Technology proposed a theory about Planet 9. So this guy who they think is crazy in 1976 is like, hey, there's a ninth planet and aliens came to our planet and just messed with our DNA. Now they're saying, now there's a theory out there, a legitimate theory about Planet 9. They came up with this because they saw strange movements and distant objects in our solar system and thought there might be a big planet far away pulling on them with its gravity. So scientists think there might be a big planet far, far away from us, way beyond Neptune, and they're calling it Planet 9. They haven't seen it yet, but they think it's there because they noticed some other space rocks moving in strange ways. And this mystery planet might be 5 to 10 times as heavy as Earth. And it takes a super long time to go around the sun, maybe 10,000 to 20,000 years. Not this other guy's, what did he say, 3,600? So way more. So, they're using powerful telescopes to look at it and they hope to find it. So it's true and false, right? So in 1976, this guy he said he's looking at, ancient Sumerian texts and comes up with this theory of the ninth planet. And he's ridiculed because of all the extra stuff that he did with it. And now there is a ninth planet, and it's and it has mainstream science behind it. So, and then chemtrails. So that I just mentioned, the actual conspiracy behind that is a conspiracy. Some believe that chemtrails are part of a secret government program to control the weather. They claim that chemicals are sprayed to create or prevent rain, alter temperatures, or mitigate climate change. Another common claim is that chemtrails are used to disperse chemical that kill the population, thereby causing illness, as I mentioned earlier, sterilization, and even mind control. Also, theories that they're used for biological experiments on the population, testing the drugs, spreading disease. And some argue that chemtrails are related to geoengineering efforts to reflect sunlight away from the earth to combat global warming. And they, all of this is kept secret. Of course, the government denies it all. It's simply, and they're like, this is simply condensation trails formed when hot exhaust from aircraft engines meets cold, moist air at high altitude. The process forms ice crystals, creating visible trails that can spread out and persist depending on the atmospheric conditions. And studies have consistently shown that the substance found in contrails, that people are calling chemtrails, are typical for aircraft emissions and all this other stuff. So there's no harmful stuff. So it's false, but geoengineering is real. And it's really a set of ideas to help cool down or finding ways to cool down the planet and remove harmful gases. So there's a lot of research into it. There's a lot of experimenting when it comes to geoengineering. So we are messing with the weather. We are messing with the oceans, which, it can have unintended consequences. And if we look at history, there are some harmful side effects when we, in the pursuit of progress in scientific research. A lot of times when it comes to scientists, right, the end justifies the means. When we think about how much we know about the human body, when we came to that, there were some really unethical practices.
Definitely.
Like grave robbing, all of that. So I say that to say, who knows, right? Who knows what's going on? So that was fun, but yeah. So I'm sorry.
That was fun.
I like that.
Look at that, and look at my boy, just like somebody talking about me creeping up with the creep up.
Enzi might be listening.
He might be a spy. He'd be the worst spy, okay? But cats aren't meant to be spies. That was so much fun. All right, y'all. So for our last segment, we have a shady astrology. All right. It's where I get into your zodiac's ass, right? So it's officially Cancer season, all right? June 21st to July 22nd are the dates. It's the symbol of the crab. Notable celebrities: Kevin Hart, Ariana Grande, Missy Elliott, Solange Knowles, Tom Hanks, and Meryl Streep, right? Good mixture there. So the good things, right? These crusty little crabs are emotional homebodies, and they have a way with food. They're definitely good cooks. And the men like to... That's for another podcast. All right. So I like the men, but the women, baby, let me tell you, okay, I worked with this one crabby ass Cancer hoe, okay? She was such a mean girl, okay? Her and her little minions on the job, right? One day she tried to bully me about my client, right? She's been bullying us this whole time, right? And so I said calmly to her in my Capricornian tone, I said, that's why nobody likes you. And it was a whole thing after that. Like, we had like a meeting about it, and it was like this weird war. Girl, what's wrong with you? You've been harassing everyone's life, being a freaking mean girl. I say one little thing to you, and then all of a sudden you are shedding Caucasian tears. And yes, she was Caucasian. Anyway, so back to you crusty crabs, right? Basically, y'all are the masters of emotional chess, your passive aggressive champions, and your guilt tripping gurus of the zodiac. I can't stand you crabby women. You need to go somewhere and just cry in an ocean with your pinchers. And that's it for shady astrology.
Oh my God.
Do you know any Cancer self?
I don't know any of these zodiac signs, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, well,
I'm not after Cancer, so so I just know I'm after Cancer.
Okay. Oh yeah, right, Leo. All you little lions. I know too many Leos. Leos and Libras. Like cancers are cool. The men are cool. Yeah, the men are cool. And I'm a Capricorn, and so that's actually like our opposite. Capricorn and Cancer, that's their opposites, because every zodiac has like an opposite one. And so Cancer is actually mine, so that's why I do get along with them in a romantic sense. But yeah, they're too emotional. We're not gonna do that. Just look at me, I'm crying in the corner somewhere. We ain't got time for that.
No, we don't.
All right, y'all. Well, that's it for this episode. We hope you're staying cool in this heat wave. We hope you laughed. We hope you cried a little bit about the state of the world. We hope you laughed to keep from crying. And until next time, y'all, that's how it ends. Bye.